welcome. In this video we are going to talk about the 5 mistakes that I see most beginners make when they're trying to play chords on the ukulele. So I'm an elementary music teacher and I see about 60 to 70 ukulele players in my classroom every single day. So these are mistakes that I see several times a day. Let's get started. By the way, if you would like to see more videos like this, let me know by giving this one a thumbs up and subscribing to this channel. Okay, so mistake number 1, I made some notes for me because I wanted to tell them to you in an order that made sense. So the first one, oh, this is the most common one. Okay, finger placement. So for some reason, it's more comfortable and natural for us to want to play our chords. And I did talk about this a little bit in one of my first videos ever, but I noticed that most people want to play chords there, where I put the X's, but that's actually not the place where you want the string to touch your finger. You want your finger and the string to meet, and actually, now it's actually drawing a lot better because I have calluses from playing there. You want the string to touch your fingers here. So you see those dots? Those are the spots where the string should touch, not over here on this chunky part of your hand. No, it should be the part right next to the nail. So let me demonstrate the wrong way, and I'm gonna do this on G chord because G chord is the one chord that will not lie to you. If you can't do G chord, you're probably making this mistake. So this is flat fingers. And that's what I hear my students when they play with the flat fingers. This is what I hear. One string will ring, this top one, and the rest will be muted. But when we move to the fingertips and I tell them to make a Lego hand, you know, the little Lego characters, once they play with that very tip where we have the dots, magic. Now let's talk about number 2, mistake number 2. So we go back to playing with flat fingers and we go to F. Mistake number 2 that I hear most students make is that they mute strings with their fingers. So on F we have 2 strings that we're actually touching and 2 strings that are supposed to ring on their own. They're open, right? So when we play F chord, if our fingers are even slightly touching those strings that should be open, we get this, right? So playing with fingertips, not touching the other strings, we get the right sound. And a way to think about this is to think about making a house for a mouse. So if a mouse could fit here in your chord hand, then you're doing it right. But if you have flat hands, there's no space for the mouse. So now let's go to reason number 3 why people cannot get the right sound out of their chords. And we're gonna do this one on C chord because I can tell right away if somebody is giving me the right amount of squeeze or not from C chord. So the way I tell my students to give the best squeeze they can is to put the thumb on the back center of the ukulele and then to play C chord with their ring finger. Now this is what I hear most students make when they play that chord. Another one of those beep sounds, right? So that means that although they are touching the string, they're not pressing the string down. They're not squeezing. So what I say to my students is hold the ukulele. I have a red sticker there for C chord and I'll say squeeze on red. And so they'll squeeze and I tell them to test that string only. And we get the nice note that we want. Now mistake number 4, you're gonna tell me, okay Bernie, that's really obvious, but it happens. It happens every single week, so I have to say it here. Okay, so this mistake, it sounds something like this. And you're thinking, well, what's wrong with that? Let me move closer so you can see. So what's happening here is that my jacket is touching the strings, not letting them ring as nicely as if my sleeve was out of the way. The notes will last much longer because my jacket is not touching. Now, it's not always a jacket. I have to say, sometimes it's long hair. Sometimes it's something like this. A long necklace, either on the front or on the back. right now you can't really hear it, but sometimes the necklace, even on my videos, it's happened to me before. It'll touch the back of the ukulele when I'm playing chords, it'll shake and I have to start over again. So necklaces, long sleeves, hair, all of that can get in the way of a chord sounding good. And last but not least, reason number 5 why chords do not sound good. And this is a mistake that is a little bit out of my control, but it is in yours. Nails being a little too long on the fretboard hand. And I'm not saying the left hand because there might be people playing this way, right? With the right hand. So I'm talking about the hand that you make the chords with. Your nails need to be so short on that. So short that you should see your skin from the front. Don't injure yourself cutting them either. Like, don't go crazy. But I mean, mine barely have any white showing on them. I don't know if you can see it here. Let me see. Mine have barely any white showing on them. So this is how short I keep my nails, and look at how close it is. You can almost see the dots from the front, like woo, right there. When my students have long nails, they can't use that tip that we talked about. So they have to flatten their fingers, and then the rest is just all messed up because they have bad form, they can't really squeeze, and they mute other strings. If you can think of other mistakes that you've made or someone that you know has made when trying to play chords, please drop them in the comments below. It will help all of us to learn from each other. If you would like to see more videos like this, also let me know in the comments below. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Sayonara!